Preseason roster breakdown. Let's do this. So altogether, Alshon is an 84, Kyle Long is an 89, Forte is an 89, and Martellus Bennett's an 88. And then it goes down from there. Let's break it down. So, quarterback Jake Cutler, 10 years in the league, 78 overall. We had David Fales. And Tim Tebow there are going to be going back and forth. We have Jacob Holland, a rookie out of Kentucky who we drafted this past offseason. And we will look to move him around, see what he can get into, and really see what kind of quarterback he is. He looks like more of a Cutler and Fales prototype than Tim Tebow. He's more of a pocket passer, got a good arm, things like that. So we'll have to see what he can do. He is a 66 overall. Don't be persuaded. The guy is going to get some training here. We are coming in with a slew of running backs. Sonoris Perry was out and put on the IR early in the season in training camp, quote unquote. Actually, in real life, it happened the third or fourth game of preseason. But he was put on the IR. It left and allowed Kadeem Carey to come on the roster. With how Jacquez Rogers played and losing 2 fumbles last year, and Carey and Langford coming in and not losing any, we really saw the ball protection issues that Jacquez Rogers can have. And so we really looked at Jeremy Langford to carry the back when Matt Forte wasn't available, or when Matt Forte needed a break. So we looked at Langford. He put some good numbers up on. He had just as many yards, if not more, than Jacquez Rogers on half of the plays. He was good out of the backfield coming in passes than Jacquez Rogers. So really, right now, Jacquez Rogers has to fight for a roster spot on this. Sonoris Perry is a big special teams player. Kadeem Carey is looking to fight for that spot for Jacquez Rogers. So it's really going to be a battle between those two for the fourth spot on the roster, even if we take a fourth. It depends how the rest of our roster suits up. We don't have a fullback. We're using Kyrie Lee as our fullback. A receiver, we will have Kevin White back from shin surgery. We did see him in limited time in the playoff game. He was activated for that game, although even with the slew of injuries, he was going out there not 100%, pretty much filling out a spot because we were losing receivers like no other. He would have played a bigger role in the next week with more preparation, but really, he was just held out as a precaution, more of a healthy scratch per se, but he was still active. Marquise Wilson did a good job when Eddie Royal was hurt. Eddie Royal's coming in 30 years old. He was banged and beat up last year. So we'll have to see how he holds up. Cameron Meredith and Joshua Bellamy came in good relief. Mark Mariani had some big catches there, a couple of touchdowns, in some key areas to win games and put points on the board to start our offense. But really we'll be looking at him for special teams. The 2 add-ons we have are Titirius Ingram, who we drafted this year, and Michael Crosby. These guys, especially Titirius Ingram, is more of a speed guy that's going to be looking to impact immediately on special teams. Michael Crosby is more of a Marquise Wilson or a Alshon Jeffrey type player. He's a possession receiver, go up and get the ball in tight coverage, heavy coverage, and just bring it back down over those corners. At tight end, we do have Bennett, Zach Miller, and Kyrie Lee coming back. Kyrie Lee is going to be playing as a fullback. We do have Zachary Cole, who we drafted this year in the second round. And he is coming in as from Alabama, 6'3", 249. He's got some decent blocking skills, but also he can go up and get the ball like Martellus Bennett and go up and make those catches like Zach Miller. So really, we'll be looking at the future for him to be that second and third tight end. Jake Stoneburner for depth. I'm going to see what he can do. We'll go out, see if he can catch some balls, see what's up from there. But we will use Zachary Cole in a couple of preseason games at fullback when Kyrie Lee is out, so we can see Stoneburner work his play. Doesn't work out the first 2 games. Obviously, we're going to uh, cut Stoneburner and then go with Zachary Cole, and he will be receiving more with Miller more so blocking in the backfield. Miller is 31. That's the biggest thing. So we did need a tight end. That's the thing. I knew it was one of the other. Zach Miller was over 30 or he was 10 years in the league, something like that. Left tackle, we did get Derek Sherrod in the offseason. And so he will be backing up Jermon Bouchard. He's 32 years old, 9 years in the league. We'll have to see what he wants to sign. But if it's a long, big contract, we're not having it, more than likely. Better players on the board. Better work through the draft. Matt Slauson, on the other hand, 86, 30 years old. Still in his upside, still in his groove, not giving up a lot of blocks, which is good. Good player. We did draft Eric Hankins. Technically, he is a legit left guard. So he will be developing behind Slauson, getting some reps with him and learning from the longtime vet there. Jamel Lane Pierre, we got him in the offseason as a vet to come in to play behind second-year player Hornets Grasal. So he's going to be the starter. In the reps that he had about Will Montgomery had 10 times the amount of reps. Thing is, Grasal had half as many pancakes, no blocks. It looked like he's going to be a good developmental player. Good physicality, good durability. Size is questionable for a center, but we'll see what he can do. Pretty much out in the game. He did decent coming in some relief. Of course, Kyle Long, 3-time Pro Bowler, going into his 4th season. He's coming back to right guard, coming back to his roots. He's going to be looking at Jordan Estes as his backup. Jordan Estes is a right tackle who we drafted. And really, we're looking at Estes to learn from Kyle Long, to learn from his versatility, and possibly move him inside if we have to one of the other guards if Slauson goes down, or maybe even move him out to right tackle if Bouchard goes down, to where our next guy we picked up in the offseason, Matt Khalil, can bust out to the left tackle where he's played in Minnesota and play that left tackle position if Bouchard goes down. Otherwise, he is our starting right tackle. Here we do have a composition between Weaver and Faberluge. Faberluge played some good time last preseason. Weaver was put on the IR. So really it's Faberluge's to lose here. We'll have to see who comes out and does the job. Left end, we brought in Kendall Reyes. And really we need to look at this from... Here's where our line gets a little ugly. So, our defense, we're going to look at from a depth chart standpoint, because it does get ugly from there. We have a lot of pieces. We're still playing a little bit of mix and match because of some off-season players. We're going from there. So left end still going to be Will Sutton. He played right end last year. He's going to move over to left end to start the year. At right end, Akeem Ayers, the offseason, actually at left end, he'll have Ferguson. And we're going to look at Kendall Reyes, see what he can do. He was cut from, actually he was not re-signed by any players or even the Chargers. So we're going to see what he can do in some limited time and see if he can add to our defense. On the right side, we picked up Akeem Ayers in the offseason. We did get another pickup on the right linebacker, which we'll see later, in which Akeem Ayers is going to kick inside in the end position. He's a speed guy. He's got some good strength. He's got some good physicality, things of that, and he's going to see what he can do at the right end position. If it doesn't happen or work out within this, we're going to switch the two we got, because I know our the right end or outside linebacker right now, can do the job at the end position. Julius Grimes, we put a pick out there. We saw what would happen, and with our 5th round pick, we end up getting the 4th overall in true talent in the entire draft, which is Julius Grimes. Playing as a defensive tackle in this, the guy is more of a speed rusher, so we're going to put him in to a role to where he's kicking out more on the outside and not anchoring the defense like Eddie Goldman would be asked to do. So we're going to kick him out. He's going to learn some moves behind Keem Ayers and some of our other linemen that we'll be looking at. Ferguson is back here backing them up. Defensive tackle Eddie Goldman, 2nd-year player. He's going to be playing here. Jay Ratliff retired, and so it's Eddie Goldman's job to lose, essentially. We moved Jarvis Jenkins inside. We have a lot of depth on the outside. We have no depth on the inside. We know Jarvis Jenkins can get the job done on the inside if need be. We picked up Malcolm Walker just to see what he can do. He's an undrafted rookie out of West Kentucky. He's more of pretty much a defense, a holder, a guy in the middle that can try to anchor and move whatever line that he has in front of him and try to block the rusher or the running backs or things like that. So he's definitely a prototype nose tackle. We'll just have to see what he can do when his confidence isn't that great. His physicality is up there. Not great intangibles. Not great durability-wise, but he's better than the other one. And his size is a little bit questionable at 297, but we'll see what he can do. Left outside linebacker, Pernell McPhee coming back after a 10-sack season. 5th-year player. Actually, 6th-year player. Let's see what we can do on the outside. We have Cornelius Washington behind him. Adrian Hubbard was cut by, I believe, the Packers. We're going to bring him in. We'll see what he can do on the outside linebacker position here. And we might end up playing him. Actually, why is Will Young not right here? We might actually look at playing him on the inside as well to see what he can do. He was a very versatile player in Alabama. He played a lot outside, but he also could play inside on some packages. So we'll see what he can do in here. He's a player I really liked in college coming out of Alabama. At middle linebacker, Shane McCullough and Christian Jones are anchoring this down. We got Layman Barrow. We spent the 6th-round draft pick last year on for trading him, and John Timu is still here. We did pick up Nick Moody. He is familiar with this scheme, and we'll see what he can do. He's out of Florida State, 3rd-year player. We'll mix him in to the mix here. But really, we're going to see what Barrow's really a big special teams player, and Timu made some plays, although it was in some times where there was a penalty, which he would have had an interception because it was bad at the line. But Timu was there when he needed to. Good undrafted free agent there. So here's why Akeem is kicked in. DeMarcus Ware wants to come back for one more year. We got a decent deal on him. We're going to kick him out the outside to the right linebacker position, see what he can do in preseason, see what kind of gas he's got left in case we got to kick him back inside and Akeem Ayers got to kick back outside. So, knowing that, Lamar Houston is going to play behind him and Cornelius Washington. In the end, Sam Acho wanted like $4 million a year. It just wasn't going to happen based just from the sole fact that we have a lot of players in the linebacker position that can do the job like he did. Particularly Lamar Houston can do that. So Lamar Houston is going to be playing behind DeMarcus Ware. Cornelius Washington is going to be playing behind those guys and learning the ropes here. Cornelius Washington had a decent year last year. Came in, had some spot reps, made some plays, set some edges on some runs, and really made a difference in a lot of games sometimes in the running game and forced the passes that allowed the corners to get some picks. At corner, Kyle Fuller. We returned Tracy Porter coming back. Fourth quarter Porter going to be anchoring the other side away from Kyle Fuller. We picked up Drake Kirkpatrick, another player out of Alabama. Fourth-year player, he's got good height. He's going to be playing that nickel. We need to be aware of these players that the Packers and the Vikings put at us, and especially those players like the Lions have with Golden Tate and these speed guys playing the slot that we really need to be aware. So, picking Drake Kirkpatrick, we can move some of this around if need be based on speed. That's what we're going to do. Terrence Mitchell brought it on at the end of the year. Had some big stops. Actually stopped Megatron a couple times. Let Megatron have one touchdown, but really only limited him to a couple catches out of the slot. One of them being that touchdown. So Terrence Mitchell, he's going to come in. He's going to be playing that fourth corner spot. He's going to be coming in and out with Drake Kirkpatrick. And we'll see what we can do. Sherrick McManus down here, core special teams player. Of course, he's going to be here. We did pick up D'Angelo Hall in the preseason. We're going to see what he can do, what he has left in the tank, playing at that slot. We might kick him out to safety. We got a huge competition at strong safety right now. We'll see that in a second. We do have Bill Bentley. We did pick him up as well, so we'll see him in the mix a little bit and see what he can do. Free safety, obviously it's Adrian Amos. I mean, the guy has been a complete monster at the free safety position. Varian's going to play behind him. And we did pick up a undrafted free agent, Connor Roberts, out of Georgetown. He's 5'11", undrafted rookie. Got some good physical to him. Decent intangibles. Got some good durability. As my controller dies completely. But really, what we need to do is pull out something that is big, essentially. Sorry for that sound. My actual controller is plugged into my computer due to playing some Steam games like that, like Fallout and things like that. I play with my Xbox controller. So my controller is not charged. Well, this one isn't. Let's plug this bad boy in. Alright, so we were good. So yeah, he's going to come in. Tangibles, durability is decent. Not big on size, he's 5'11", but we'll see what he can do. Now here is a big competition. So we drafted Antoine Bryan as a free safety. We're going to kick him over to strong safety. We had Antrell Roll retire. So we are playing with two young safeties. We really harped on looking at a safety in this draft. It was one of our top things. We knew Antrell Roll wasn't going to be playing that long. And in fact, he only played 1 year. But it was one of those things we were really looking at. We brought in Sean Richardson to see what he can do at strong safety. We're getting back Anthony Jefferson off of IR from last year. We're going to bring in Walter Thurman, who really could play a corner position. So he might be one of those players that's like up here that plays in that second. But I mean, he's more of a depth player than anything. He has more on this team that he can contribute than Anthony Jefferson. The thing is, we also drafted Dentarius Roberts. He looked special. He's not the strongest player. Plays with some magic physicality. Has some intangibles. Got some durability. Maybe a little size, but the guy is scrappy. Like, decent tackling, good pursuit, good blocks, block shedding. Amazing hip power. Same thing with Antoine Bryan. I mean, I got some scrappy guys here. Jefferson's a big guy, but the thing is, the zone coverage, Sean Richardson would be one of those guys that he plays back in those nickel sets. Antoine Bryan is up in the box. Sean Richardson is back in that safety spot with Amos. And we're just going out there with an extra defensive back of Kirkpatrick telling Rodgers to throw over us, telling Stanford to throw over us, and trying to tell Teddy Bridgewater to do some screens, run the ball, throw over us with your dynamic receivers. Just immediately put some edge to our defense with our draft picks this year. Harped a lot on defense. So kicker was still the same. Still got good as gold, Robbie Gold, 11th year in the league. And then Pat O'Donnell did decent. He was more in the 10 to 20 range of kickers or punters. Kick return, we're going to look what Tyrese Ingram has. He's got 96 speed. The guy looks like he's going to put people in the dust. Small guy too, shifty. Future probably going to be a fourth or fifth receiver. A guy that can play in a slot in a third if we need him to. This guy is shifty. Small frame. Kind of reminds me of like a very, very fast Wes Welker. We did get Snorris Perry back. So this is what I mean. Snorris Perry is going to be next to him. Perry can break some runs. He's got some very, very elusive speed on him. And he can put on the Jets when he needs to. Coming off the IR, second-year player. And then Marcus Mariota is going to be behind him. Obviously, Robbie Gold is going to be doing the kickoffs. The long snapper is going to be Kyle Long this year. Our third down back is still going to be Matt Forte. When he's tired, it's going to be Langford. And we're going to go in favor of Kadeem Carey as our third down back. Why I say that? Because on third down and roughly mid-range, about 6 to 4 yards, Rodgers really wasn't putting it on. Like, he could break some tackles, but he couldn't get those extra yards that we needed. Those 1 or 2 yards coming out of the backfield, anything like that. He caught some passes out wide, but really that's going to be something Langford can do. And Kadeem Carey, being he's 5'10", he's got some power to him. We can run him upfield. So that will be our preview of our week 1 preseason roster going into year 2. We have a lot of movement on this team, but hey, we have the workings of a good team going in here. And the biggest thing is, we are going into our first preseason game where Denver's going to come to us. They don't have Osweiler. Actually, in the meantime, we're going to start doing this in the news one so we can go straight into the game. Obviously, there's no injuries, but we're going to do this before in the news portion. So Osweiler did re-sign with them, so he's going to be the future of the franchise this year at least. They picked up Ansacio Clark. They got Pierre Thomas and Juwan Thompson. Fullback is probably going to be a tight end, so we'll look at that. They have Thomas, Brian Jermaine Curse. They got Emmanuel Sanders, Corey Lamoureux. They brought in Corey Fuller, Virgil Green, Owen Daniels, and then Joseph Furia. So my guess would be that one of these two ended up being probably Owen Daniels, probably going to be the fullback. The left tackle, Ryan Clady, longtime player. Al Netter, Gino Gronkowski, Louis Vasquez, longtime vet. Eben Britton moved over to them. I don't see any rookie starting. Vance Walker on the line with quick behind him. Ray McDonald's back there, being signed. Ian Williams going to be in a nose tackle position. I think they're still running a 3-4, I believe. Von Miller, big playmaker, 5th year in the league. Nate Irvin is their middle linebacker. Shea Ray, they may even not. I don't think that's allowed, but the computer hasn't signed all of their players yet. Chris Harris, Aqib Talib, and Bradley Roby will be playing against Kayvon Webster. Isn't that much of a drop off from those guys either? So this is going to be a good time to test some of those rookies. See if they can get separation against these guys. Darian Stewart, they did get a good free safety, Darius Spencer. Isaiah Abdullah Quidis in the back. TJ Ward is in the back, safety as well. They don't even have a kicker. Yeah, so the computer hasn't picked up any of their players yet. So that's why there's some holes. So I'm pretty sure there's going to be some difference we'll see in the game. But it won't be like that when we go into the second match. But from now on in the news week, we will be doing that. And so I'm going to end the stream, guys. Thank you for those that have come and watched me. I'm going to cut this up into free agency, look at some draft picks. So we'll end the season recap, scouting, draft, and then the roster preview. So I'll cut up in 4 videos, and then we will start with week 1 at home against Denver and Brock Osweiler. So I will see you guys next time. Have a good night, guys. Later.